Welcome to the GAMERamble first look video for PowerSlave Exhumed. My name is Dark Cloud and I'm joined by
Nimby or Mrs. Cloud.
This game is developed by Night Dive Studios and Lobotomy Software, and it's published by Night Dive Studios and Throwback Entertainment. And it's a Egyptian-themed first-person shooter, actually a KEX Engine port of the classic, which was available on consoles back in the 90s.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so we have View Game, Load Game, Options, Credits, and Quit. I believe this game has been substantially enhanced for this release over the console versions and the DOS versions of the 90s. So game settings, we've got checkpoints, view bop speed, whole bunch of settings here, input settings, mouse settings, controller. You can adjust the audio volume, music and sound. Display settings, you can set the shading mode, anti-aliasing, it even has a CRT filter. So if you play this game on PlayStation or Saturn on a television with CRT, you can enable this for that real nostalgic. Some advanced settings here. Language and video, set to resolution, mode, VSync, frame rate and everything. So yeah, not a bad set of options for such an old game really.
No, it's a lot of settings for an older game.
Yeah, this game actually blends both the PlayStation and Saturn versions together and adds some new features on top of that. So let's start the game. You can play on normal, hard or pharaoh. There is no easy in PowerSlave, so I think I'm going to start out on normal. Going to begin at Tomb of Ramses.
This brings back memories.
Yeah, I guarantee you it didn't look like this back then. Might remember it looking like this, but going back to the original. And it is very fast.
That's cool.
So I start out with my trusty machete, and then there's also a pistol. There is a bunch of other weapons to find, including hand grenades, a flamethrower, M60 machine gun, and even a magical cobra staff.
Awesome.
And there we have a spider or something.
Just a creepy enemy.
I believe the PlayStation version had spiders or scorpions and the Saturn had the others, so now they've mixed the two together. You get the spiders and the scorpions.
That's cool.
The other thing about this game, like many of the games from that era, it had lots of secrets and hidden passageways and things.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to try and find the secrets
So yeah.
and doors in games like this.
The other thing that set PowerSlave apart from the competition, I think, is that at Metroidvania-like elements, you would find powers and artifacts that if you go back to previous levels would unlock new areas.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah. It meant you really had to thoroughly explore the levels. You want to be close to that when that explodes.
Ooh. So cool.
Yeah, way before Serious Sam had this whole Egyptian theme, there was PowerSlave.
I must say I like the soundtrack as well. Really suits the theme.
Yeah, speaking of soundtracks, I think the name PowerSlave was actually based on the Iron Maiden album that had this whole Egyptian themed cover.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I've heard something like that.
Sure, our viewers will be sure to Google that. And you will after the video.
Yeah, maybe edit it out if I'm wrong so I don't sound too ignorant, but that's what I've heard, so over here.
Welcome, mortal. I am King Ramses. When my body was laid to rest here, my name was not forgotten, and my spirit was blessed in the realm of the dead. For centuries I lived in splendid afterlife among the most powerful gods of the world. Now, my eternal sleep has been broken by a savage race of creatures known as the Kilmat. These beasts have stolen my mummified corpse and are draining the power from it to use as their own. If they succeed, chaos will spread across the earth like a terrible wave of fire, burning all living things in its path. The world as we know it will die a painful death. It is you, Great One, that must do justice for the sake of mankind and shun this evil. Seek out the 6 treasured artifacts that once adorned my tomb, given to me by the most powerful gods of Egypt. They too have been stolen and scattered across the valley, and are highly guarded. These artifacts hold great powers and will help you on your journey. To begin your search, travel to Karnak and cross the high bridge on the east side of the village. Here you will find a great sanctuary that holds the first of the 6 mighty artifacts. If you happen to lose your way on your travels, return to this tomb, and I will give you guidance. Fear not the power of the Kilmat. Instead, embrace the powers of the Egyptian gods. They will help carry you to victory.
Yeah, so that is our mission. Retrieve these artifacts.
I just wanted to know whether you got all of that memorized, exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, very much. Look at that snazzy camel sprite.
So cool. Is that
Good
your
old-
ride?
Yeah, that is your ride for travel to Karnak. So, Tomb of Ramses. Here we go to Karnak. Things will probably start ramping up from here. I actually played the game originally way back when on PlayStation, and the biggest frustration was always the controller. I know there was a MS-DOS version, but it didn't have things like this colored lighting and all the snazzy effects that the consoles could do.
Okay.
So this is really best of both worlds.
Yeah, and with the keyboard and mouse, it obviously feels more smooth and
Yeah,
easier to control.
and they've spruced up the visuals just enough so it doesn't feel like a modern game, but you get that classic look without the drawbacks. So
That thing's being so pixelated that you can't really make out what's going on.
well, that's the way you want to play the game. There's enough settings. So I believe the original DOS version of the game is also still available on GOG, so if you're a purist, you can go down that route, but if not, you got this.
I think this is cool.
Your pictures are everywhere.
Yeah. Not a big fan of crawling enemies if you can't see so well.
We hear a symbol of time.
Okay.
I remember I got quite lost on some of these levels. Getting chewed on from behind here. Should actually be using my machete on these things like serving bullets.
Looks high and watery. Can you swim?
Yes, you can, but if I remember correctly, the game has piranhas.
No. Okay.
I don't want to go visit them.
Never mind then. Do you run out of ammo? Or...
Yes, you do. I'm not gonna give you unlimited ammo. That's why you have to shatter these spots and explore all the nooks and crannies. So there's a camel over here, which means I can leave this area. Karnak Sanctuary. I didn't get the artifact in that area, but you can always go back. Just want to give an overview of
what it looks like.
what players can expect. Oh, there we go. I don't even remember what the bosses in this game looked like, but I think they were a varied bunch. Ah, there we go.
This
I'll
looks
take M60.
Ah,
Yes.
they're ramping up the enemies now as well.
Oh, yes.
To suit the gun.
Yeah, I think the magical artifacts were some of my favorites. Magical staff and things like that.
Ah.
Full of fire. A very epic music.
I like it.
As you can see, you can get very lost if you don't.
Now I remember these types of games. I got so lost.
Let's see if I have a map.
That would help.
So I've got a map at least, but to navigate it, levels above and below each other can be tricky.
Yeah.
So now I can take this weapon and go back to a previous level, find stuff, and I will be better equipped to handle.
Where's the little diamond at the top of the screen showing you go here?
No, that kind of guidance you're not gonna find here. Remember in the days of Wolfenstein 3D where you had to crawl up to every wall and hold down keys to just try and find the secret areas?
Yeah, I did exactly that. I knew where every single secret was in the first level. But it took a lot of crawling up walls and checking out the same texture over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is PowerSlave Exhumed. If you like classic first-person shooters, or you remember playing this game on console, this looks like it's a pretty decent new version of it, combining all the best weapons. It's got all 20 plus levels of the original game, and you've seen the amount of extras and enhancements that it has.
Lots of nostalgic value here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy our videos.
Until next time.
Bye.